Good morning, friends of the channel. Hope everybody is fine and dandy on this lovely Wednesday. I'm hoping you can see, I'll spin slowly that way. You can see my location, which is Williams Crawford, specialist in Porsche, 34 years young is the business, down here on the border really between Cornwall and Devon. I've had a lovely drive to get here today from Dorset, beautiful coastline roads all the way. And I mean, yeah, this is like the cusp of Cornwall really, and all that Cornwall offers. Was down here a couple of weeks ago on a road trip in a Taycan, so I know all about what this area has to offer, and it's great to have a reputable Porsche specialist down here. So I've been to Williams Crawford, I would say, half a dozen times over the last 6-7 years, maybe not quite that much, but it's the first time I've done anything kind of public really. It's a real delight to take a look around the stock that the guys have. We're going to be doing a few bits and pieces. I'm going to do a video on one of the cars, which I'm really grateful of. We're going to interview Adrian and Richard, who are the duo behind Williams Crawford. So you'll hear that on a podcast later on. But for now, I just want to show you around the showroom and do a toy shop tour, because there's some mega stuff in here. And as we all know on this channel, that's lovely. I won't spin around, but hopefully we'll save that for later. But that's a 3.4 litre short stroke, 3.4 litre car in commemorative, what is that now? Was it diamond blue? Can't remember. It's caught me off guard, that. But in case, I want to show you around because, yeah, there's some real gems in here. I get excited about these cars, and I know you do too. So I'll stop waffling and I'll spin round and show you inside, because as I said, there's lots to talk about here, and it almost feels like sacrilege to skip past an aqua blue 997 GTS, but we are going to do that because I do want to get down to things like this beautiful Targa. If you're wondering what the colour is, it's chartreuse. I think that looks absolutely stunning on a long bonnet. It's actually a back date. It was originally a Carrera 3. So that's one of the impact bumper 911s from model year 76 and 77, expertly backdated or tickled back a couple of years to long bonnet spec. It looks awesome. Check out those little grills in the front there, which is amazing. Let's look inside as well. With the houndstooth Recaros. I think it's a waiting collection. It looks absolutely beautiful in there. So Williams Crawford, as well as buying and selling cars, and around 50% of the stock is their own, the other half are SOR. As well as doing all of that, there's a service centre next door, and then beyond this Porsche wall is basically like the special projects department. And I'm not going to go behind there this time because I'm not too sure of what I can show and what I can't. But rest assured, this is where things like this are made. And again, I just think that is beautiful. On a day like today, that's the kind of Porsche I'd love to be cruising around in. So we've got some cool stuff. I'll just quickly show this 991 cab. So I do like a 991 cab. A few extra goodies on there, like the aero mirrors covered in black. And then inside is a cool mix of black and red. Actually, look at that. There's surround on the PCM red as well. I've never seen that before. So yeah, very cool. This car, I've just had a really lovely story on this. I'll share it very quickly. It's Polar Silver 993 cab, just sold. Adrian sold this car around 20 years ago and said to the gentleman at the time, if you're ever going to sell it, think of me. And 20 years later, the car's turned up again, remembered it, and Adrian kept to his word. And the car's now off to Portugal. It's a left-hand drive car. And yeah, really, really cool story. Again, kind of pointing to the longevity of the business and all that it brings. So that's ready to be enjoyed in the sunshine, which is great. We've got some more modern metal along here, mixture of 718, 981 and modern classic 911 now, which I guess is what you can call the 997. It's a pretty cool combo in there. So great, so capable. I have to say, the idea of a 997 turbo in cabriolet form is highly appealing as a brilliant do-it-all sports car. They're still so fast. I want to point this car out. So this Cayman is super interesting. You might be looking at those brakes and thinking, well, they're not stock. Well, the answer is they are. This is actually a Cayman GT4 Clubsport. So they come like that, brakes and suspension wise, from the factory. What they don't come in, obviously, is an awesome livery. They will come in body and white, of course. This has had the Rothmans livery. Connoisseurs may spot this rubber lip on the arches. You might be thinking, well, what's that all about? Because that, of course, isn't stock, whether road or race. And the answer is the guys at Williams Crawford, or a customer of theirs, is going to be racing this car later this year on the famous Carrera Panamericana over in Mexico, a storied race that has a rich history with Porsche. It's still running in one format or another today, and customers going to be racing in the GT4 Clubsport, which is a great idea. You may recall these cars when they were brought out, like the big thing about their GT4 Clubsport was the engines aren't lifed. They don't have a life on them. So in terms of like needing a rebuild. So ultra durable, like excellent Porsche engineering. And what the guys for Williams Crawford are having to do for the Carrera Panamericana, which some of it is off-road, majority of it used to be, is raise it up. Even the road sections, they need to average 100 mile an hour. And there's some lumps and bumps along the way, so Adrian says. So yeah, that's a project in progress at the moment. But in the meantime, it's really, really cool and great to see somebody using these cars as intended. Look at that. Would love to have a go in there. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of a sneak peek behind the curtains at special projects. I'll show you that another time because there really is lots to look at here. So I just want to head over to, let's go down here actually. Good mix of old and new. 9146 replica. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Those big bulging arches, front and rear. The 4-cylinder 914s, they look so dainty by comparison. If you look down the line, look at that. Looks mega. Sierra Cosworth, it's off-brand Sapphire, but that appeals strongly to my Essex roots. Love that, absolutely love that. But anyway, we'll remain on brand. I want to pop down and show you this, which looks awesome. Looks like an animal. Would love to drive it. ST spec. It was actually a 911S, and to be honest, for the majority of its life, it has been used as a race car. It's got a 2.5 litre short stroke. This is the one with the short stroke engine in it. Look at those beautiful ST spec arches. You'll remember I drove an original ST 72, 73, or probably 2 years ago now, Conda Green. So the ST, yeah, so it was like early 70s, and it was basically like a sports purpose package, 911S in a T body, but built to varying specifications. Like, for example, like the different gearbox specs you could have was like a Nürburgring spec or an airfield spec. So the idea was to take a 911 racing, and this is a pretty cool, I say replica, I kind of feel like that's underclubbing it really, because it's genuinely raced in its life. Williams Crawford have looked after it, and it's presented today as so. I'll pop this on here, so if you're watching it back, if you want to have a read, you can just pause the video at this point and take a read of the history. But as I said, it's an original 911S converted to 2.5 litre ST spec. And if I can take a look in there, look at that. I think that is absolutely stunning. Beautiful. Williams Crawford describe it as cafe latte, which I think is pretty cool. But they said, make no mistake, it's a very pretty thing to look at. It's an animal to drive, which sounds great to me. I'd love to have a go in that. So yeah, that's for sale. Targa 964 Targa 4. 964 Targas full stop are quite rare. I've mentioned that before, really. Not too sure. I can't remember the numbers off by heart enough to say on here. But yeah, 964 is a rare car. And also, I will say, nice to see a 964 that hasn't been backdated. It's just left alone. It looks absolutely great on the cups and teardrops. Next to this, we've got a 964 that has been fettled. Now, what I will say is this, I think the guys are calling it a designer RS, which is quite funny. The colour, by the way, is Murano green, but this is a genuine RS. So even those wheels you can see there, they are genuine mag wheels. So again, it's not like all this has been stripped down and put in the bin. It's a genuine 964 RS with a bit of pop. The colour's awesome. I'm not sure if you can see on the video. It kind of changes between like blue and green. It's got a lovely depth to it in person. Come back, you can see. And then take a look in here. I absolutely love this. Pole positions, re-trimmed with like a basket weave centre. Possible inspiration for Little Irish. But again, like original RS wheel left, if you can see that. Although if you want to change, it looks like a Momo Prototipo down there. And a Boss. Let's take a look at that in the back. So yeah, that's a very different expression of RS. And again, I'll pop the spec there because it is for sale, in case you're watching it back and you want to pause the video just to have a read. It says they're optimised for road driving. So that's the Murano Green 964 RS. Haven't been told too much about this one, not sure. But it looks like a Golf Blue Targa. Sold awaiting handover. Let's take a look in here because again, like the guys, there's a lot of trimming going on, and I have to say I'm quite impressed with the quality of it. I've seen things trimmed over the years at other places and questioned the quality, but actually that looked quite good. Look at this car. I'm going to do a video on this today. Adrian's offered me a drive. I'm very excited for that. 1976 911S. They're kind of easily forgotten, this period of 911s, really. A year ago, I did a video on the Carrera 3, which is kind of similarly forgotten. And this car preceded that, really. It's coming with those lovely, lovely, lovely cookie cutters. You don't really see them on 911s. I mean, Fuchs was the upgrade at the time, or the one that came with the top spec cars. But over the years, people have swapped out cookie cutters for Fuchs. So it's actually nice to see a 911 on cookie cutters. So that's a bit of a flavour of what the guys have got in currently at Williams Crawford. This, by the way, looks incredible. I'm gutted it's sold because I'd have quite liked a little tickle up the road in it, because it's a really, really good spec. I've just followed a 987 Spider around Northumberland for our first 9works road trip of 2025. Mr. Nick Jeffrey and his was PDK, took me for a drive in it. I was so impressed. And yeah, definitely got a lot of love for these cars. That's aqua blue, one of two in that colour. I think that's in the UK. And numbers-wise, yeah, look, rare. I obviously mentioned it on my toy shop tour at Harbour Cars last week. I think, personally, 987s suit a slightly darker colour, such as here. And it really comes down to the back. When you're driving out on the road, just like the form of those rear humps just looks more elegant to my mind in a darker colour, as here. I mean, look at that. I just think that is stunning. Absolutely stunning. 1,275 kilos, super lightweight. I've got a video coming on one of these cars soon. I don't know if this is open. Amazing. But I like the spec. Don't mind the fact at all it's PDK. It's got the buckets, the sport wheel, which I learnt last week are kind of crucial, really. Like the one last week had the non-sport wheel with like the clunky, not paddles, but buttons for the PDK. Didn't enjoy that. It needs that wheel as far as I'm concerned. I think these cars as well, personally, also need sport exhaust, which this one has. Obviously, chrono pack as well. So, again, with the buckets, I think that is a really good mix and a glorious place to sit. And in aqua blue, I think that is possibly 987 Spider perfection. But, as I said, that one's sold, so congratulations to the owner. So look, that's a very quick tour around Williams Crawford showroom. I'm just going to finish at the top of the stairs and give you a look down. So yeah, a couple of videos coming up, including that 2.7 911S, 987 Spider as well. Some other cool content that I'll save to talk about for another time. The cars at Williams Crawford are on the 9works marketplace. Go and check it out. You know the score by now, 9works.co.uk/Porsche marketplace. all the specialists on there are reputable, and all the cars on there are backed by comprehensive warranties. The idea is you're buying quality. You buy the car, and especially when the weather's like today, you're just straight out and finding your nearest best road and enjoying it. You're not then having to correct problems inherited from previous owners that haven't been as studious in maintaining the car. So look, yeah, spin that round to finish, because this is far more interesting than I am. That's a quick toy shop tour here at Williams Crawford. Thanks as always for your support of the channel. It is very much appreciated, and we'll see you soon for another toy shop tour looking at some lovely Porsches. Have a top day.